I didn't even have this one marked as one of my top 6, but I think I'm going to go with it anyways. It's a Wonderful Life.
That's the
Wow.
ultimate classic right there.
Yeah. Thanks for playing with me, guys. Better luck next year.
I know. That's a solid lineup. Oh man. All right, Chad, what's your final selection?
I'm wondering if I should just go Die Hard 2.
Was that a Christmas movie? I never even heard. Was that around Christmas time also?
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that.
The Donut Bag is brought to you by Foco.com. The holiday season is here, and Foco has all kinds of unique Pittsburgh Pirates, Steelers, and Penguins items. They're the perfect gift for all sports fans. Order today at Foco.com for guaranteed shipping before Christmas. Be the MVP of gift giving this holiday season. And for a limited time, if you buy one bobblehead, you get the second one 25% off. That's www.foco.com, Foco.com. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Donut Bag, part of the Pulse Podcast Network and the Pod Hub Network. In this episode, I talked to Rod Blum and Chad Painter from the Brownie Sunday Podcast about the Browns, and we have our very first fantasy Christmas movie draft. The Donut Bag starts right now. Okay, now we're going to try something a little bit different. We're going to have a fantasy movie draft. With me to do this little experiment is Rod Blum and Chad Painter from the Brownie Sunday Podcast. Guys, what is up?
Hey, y'all. It's going to be fun.
Hey, Joey. Looking forward to this for a long time.
Awesome. So since you guys are Browns guys, and we've actually been talking about this for a few minutes before we recorded, but how do you think? How happy are you with the Browns this year? Are you thrilled? Are you disappointed? Or how are you happy? How are you with the Browns this year?
I mean, I would say I'm probably thrilled, but it's more, not just the result of this season. It's more just knowing what kind of lies ahead for this team. I mean, that's how I look at it. I'm excited that we got some wins, but I think a lot of people in Cleveland are just really excited and feeling like this team's going to be in the hunt next year.
Yeah, for what seems like eternity, our tagline has always been, well, there's always next year, and it comes with a depressed tone. But next year, it's like, oh, my goodness, we're actually going to be good. We're going to be good in the AFC North. We could have even had, we talked about this before you hit record, we could have had 9 wins if you really look at it, with the Steelers game, the Saints game, and especially the Raiders game. But Joe, earlier on in the season, you predicted 6 wins for the Browns. So we said that it's all on you.
I brought them down.
Yeah, I think so.
What could have been?
My predictions are so airtight. I think I predicted 10-6 for the Steelers, so maybe I'm onto something. But
boy.
But you're right. So the Saints game was if you had a kicker, would have won that.
4 kicks missed.
The Raiders game was basically crooked refs, basically evil wrestling refs got involved there. And hey, I feel for you in that one because those evil refs work the Steelers Chargers game, so I understand you there. And yeah, that tie. How funny is it that every time you look at the record, you're reminded of that game 1 game where the Steelers and Browns tied.
It's crazy, yeah. And I think about that game, and I think a lot of people in Cleveland are like, well, we should have had a win there. But if you guys all remember that game, both teams had a chance to put that game away. I don't think one team deserved it more than the other. So I think a tie is pretty much what it should have been.
And it feels like years ago. We were talking about this on our own podcast earlier with Paul Brown. I said, man, it seems like years since Tyrod Taylor has been on the field because of how just stoked we've been with Baker Mayfield the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, our theme this year also is if we had a kicker, because if I remember, Boswell had a chance to win that game and he missed, and who knew that was the that was telling of things to come for our kicker. So yeah, we feel like we should have won that game too, but that was a crazy game, and yeah, well the Steelers just beat the Patriots, so we've kind of eliminated the Browns. So sorry about that, but still, you need to do us all a favor and beat the Ravens.
Oh, our pleasure.
Definitely.
Talk to whoever. I know you're tight with Eric Metcalf. Tell him. Tell anybody. But
I mean, anybody that we can eliminate is, it's a bonus. That's, this team is not going to quit playing, though. They're
not.
I think they're playing for themselves. They weren't. Obviously, they were hoping that the playoff thing would work out, but I think everybody knew that it was going to be a long shot for the team to make the playoffs with the record they had, 6 weeks ago. So I think they're going to keep playing tough. And yeah, I don't think anybody really wants to play them right now.
They're playing really good. They're playing really good right now. I was really impressed in that Denver game, even though the Denver coach basically handed you the game, which I still don't understand that decision. But they're playing really good right now. I remember at one point we were talking and you were saying, well, why are the Steelers so successful? And I remember saying something like, well, you got to start with a franchise quarterback, and you definitely have that now. I mean, you got to be thrilled with Baker Mayfield.
I wouldn't want anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of us are still like, wow, we can't believe we actually have a quarterback. It's been, the franchise has been back for 20 years. We've been waiting, We've been waiting since Bernie Kosar left pretty much for a franchise quarterback. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of like you have to pinch yourself and say, wow, we actually have this. It's amazing.
Tim Couch is looking down on you from heaven. I'm assuming he's dead. I don't know whether he's alive or not, but
he actually
Tim Couch.
No, help me out here, Chad. He did some TV for the Browns in the preseason. He looked like he could still play. He looked ridiculous, like he's been working out like crazy and everything, but I mean, Tim Couch could have been the guy. It's just they didn't have anything around him, and he got the crap beat out of him. So it's nothing against Tim Couch. It was just the circumstances around him.
But yeah, there's so much promise with the Browns, and I have a friend that we go back and forth. That's a huge Browns fan, and my thing for a while has been that I actually root for you guys. It's like, you're such long suffering, and anybody that's a Browns fan or a Bills fan is just had so much hardship. And when you finally get some success, it's like, I'm really happy for you. But that happiness is going to turn into anger and hate next year, because you guys are going to be good and you're going to be content. It's not going to be like, you're not going to need wild scenarios to challenge for the AFC North. It's going to be right there with the Steelers and Ravens, and I think the Bengals are a joke, but So it's going to go from, oh, cute, you got some wins, to when are they going to stop winning? So that's going to be next year.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we all feel. I think we all felt that this was going to be kind of a development season for the Browns, and we were hoping they would get some wins. But yeah, it's turned into more than that, just because they've looked so good. But yeah, I mean, everybody's talking about next season already. People are talking about the next season, and it's funny. We've all, the draft history with the Browns, how they've been so terrible, and all the first rounders are gone, from before 17. We don't have any first rounders left. We're rolling into this draft, which is going to be Dorsey's second draft. And I'm thinking, I don't even know if I really even want to do any research on this, because if Dorsey makes the pick, I'm going to be great. That must be the guy. That's kind of going to be my attitude.
Did he hit a home run every single time? Every single pick? I mean, there's...
No, but not every single pick. I mean, there's guys that really haven't played much yet. We really don't know, about Austin Corbett or Chad Thomas yet. We really haven't seen either guy this season at all. Those were guys taken in the second round. But when you talk about Nick Chubb, Denzel Ward, Baker Mayfield, and then you throw in Antonio Callaway and Jannard Avery, that's a really strong draft class right there, even if you don't get anything out of the other guys. And if Corbett turns out to be a starting lineman down the road, then I mean it's an incredible draft.
I didn't know Callaway was in that draft too. But so you have potential 4 stars in the same draft. That's really impressive. So yeah, I whatever you need to do with Dorsey, chain him to the desk. He can never leave. I don't care.
That's
how
I feel about it.
Pay him $10 million a year, $20 million. I don't care what. The guy can never leave because he is single-handedly turning that franchise around. So
yeah, and he's had 1 season so far. I mean, it's scary if he can, come anywhere close to that success in the next, draft and off season, for the next year or two. You have to be really just kind of scared about how good he can make this roster.
Yeah. I know I'm scared, and other Steeler fans have to be scared. Like, oh, great, here they come. But I'm excited because I'm tired of pitying the Browns, and I look forward to hating them again because I grew up hating them. That used to be the main rivalry, Steelers-Browns. And I know you Browns fans always have hated the Steelers. So this is...
But after a while it gets to be where it's not really a rivalry. You're just the whatever, the
hammer and nail. That's exactly what it was with the
butt kicked every time. It's not a rivalry unless there's competition.
Well, that's just what it was with the Steelers and Patriots. It's like every year the Patriots would beat the Steelers in the regular season and the playoffs. Like, this isn't fun. This stinks. And then we finally beat them last night, and it was like the best feeling. It felt like the movie Independence Day or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of movies, the reason why we're doing this is because I think, Chad, this was your idea of basically doing a fantasy draft, but for Christmas movies. And so we'll each pick 3, and then I'll put it up to a vote to see who had the best group. So there'll be 3 rounds. So it'll go. Rod, you'll be first, then Chad, then me, and then we'll do like a snake draft. So Rod, why don't you go first?
Okay, we really didn't discuss rules a lot here. We're just talking movies, right? Not these animated things, right?
Here's the thing. Yeah, every time I saw a list of the best movies, I saw like Rudolph and the French Cartoon and Charlie Brown Christmas. Those aren't movies. I'm sorry. They're not
claymation.
They're TV specials. So yeah, those don't count. That's the only rule.
Okay.
No TV.
Easy
specials.
enough.
Well, you guys, I kind of put a board together here. But
you get the 101.
Yeah, I get the first pick, and that's kind of scary.
Rod has done many mock drafts. He's really prepared for this.
Yeah.
If you steal my first pick, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Well, you know what? I've got 2, and I'm not sure which one to take because I'm sure that the one I don't take is going to be long gone by the time it gets back to me.
All right, what do you got?
I will go with A Christmas Story.
Solid.
Wow.
Solid. I'm totally okay with that. That's like the quintessential Christmas movie.
But nobody understands why, though. There's no climax. There's no real plot. It's just as if this this family.
How did it get to be this way? It was just I think when it first came out, it was just like a just like a meh movie. And then I don't know if it just because I forget what station, but they just decided to play it nonstop. Maybe they made it into a cult